What's good, YouTube? My name's QBX, or you can call me AJ. This is my first YouTube video discussing comics. I've discussed manga before with Jujutsu Kaisen, but I was super lazy about that. And I don't plan on ever picking up that channel ever again. So I'm finna just start anew with comics and manga and just other things that I like. But today's video is going to be about the Ultimate series that came out last June. Now, there's a few spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go read for yourself. What are you doing? It's a pretty good series. So this newer version of the Ultimates was created by Jonathan Hickman, and if you don't know who that is, very, very great and legendary comic writer. He's written a bunch of great shit from Marvel Secret Wars, the Fantastic Four run, just absolutely great pieces of comics. So if you don't know, this new version of the Ultimate Universe was taken over by the maker, who is the evil Reed Richards from the original Ultimate Universe. So what he did was he gone back in time to like around the 1960s or something and just tampered with everyone's histories. Everything is a bit different, not even a bit, a lot different in this universe. So, you know, Spider-Man doesn't become a superhero as a teenager. The Fantastic Four are dead. Colossus and Magic are leaders of a Russian regime, and then they turn Wolverine into the fucking Winter Soldier, which is crazy, by the way. But yeah, that's the gist of the new Ultimate Universe. The Ultimates themselves are known by the world as terrorists. Of course, this is because everyone is under propaganda control from the maker, and anyone who agrees with the Ultimates is struck down by lightning, literally by Nick Fury in the hand, not S.H.I.E.L.D., who, of course, are under the maker's control, too. Now, the Ultimates themselves, it's the same Trinity, you know, Thor, Tony Stark, and Captain America, but this Tony Stark is not Iron Man, he's Iron Lad instead. As for the rest of the team, there's the original Human Torch, which is Jim Hammond. There's Lady Sif, She-Hulk, who is not Jennifer Walters in this universe, Ant-Man and the Wasp, who are their original counterparts, America Chavez, Hawkeye, who is in Clint Barton, and the most unique addition, in my opinion, Doom, who is actually Reed Richards in this universe. So the Ultimates are formed by Tony and Doom. The two of them both know the extent of how much the world and everyone's future has changed, and they seek to free everyone from the Maker's control. So they time travel using the Immortus engine and give some of the other heroes their powers and equipment. So like Spider-Man has his powers, but this time around he's a 30-year-old man with kids. And he's married, thank God, which, you know, brings a familiar but fresh and much needed dynamic for Spider-Man and the cast of his characters, because current Spider-Man just sucks. So after Tony and Doom form their roster, they now have like 2 years or so to change the world in order to face the Maker whenever he frees himself from the seal, which is a whole other thing, but that's basically how they formed. And that's the quickest explanation I could give without spoiling too much. So moving on to the topic that I wanted to talk about, what makes the Ultimates work as a series? Well, it is well received, and why do I like it? Well, it's because of the incorporation of social and political commentary in the writing. Colonialism, the negative effects of it, and nuclear testing in the Pacific with She-Hulk's character, who I cannot, you put a gun to my head and say, the only way you can live is pronouncing her real name, I'm dead. And then there's the public misrepresentation of indigenous groups in film and media led by the white dominant corporations within Hawkeye's character, who is Charlie Ramsey in this universe. And then there's the American prison system and the flaws of the American justice system within Luke Cage's character. And then there's the effects and the grip capitalism has on society. All this commentary is what makes the 6160 Ultimate Universe so interesting. Not only that, it makes you think about these things in real life. For me, the issues that have made me do more research was Ultimates issue 3 and the most recent one, issue 9. In Ultimates issue 3, the commentary there is the testing of nuclear weapons on Pacific proving grounds. I hope I'm saying that right. But between 1946 and 1962, the US tested 105 nuclear weapons, which had caused people on the Marshall Islands and other islands to suffer health problems from radiation. Many radiation-related cancers, defects, and sicknesses are still happening today. In the Ultimates issue 3, we learn that Bruce Banner was testing the gamma bombs in these Pacific Island areas, which gave birth to the Hulk. But not just that, it turned the people of those islands into like an island of Hulks and monsters and people with birth defects. They called the island Monster Island, and the operation was called Operation Castle Gamma, which is based on the Castle Bravo, which was the first test at Marshall Islands. Now, in the modern day, Monster Island is observed by Bruce Banner, who is evil, a monk, the Hulk, and the fucking Iron Fist. Now, the people of Monster Island, which the actual island name is called Lamaran, I believe, they refuse to leave, even though the island is dangerous. Like, you got babies turning into Hulks. It's kind of crazy. And then some people can't even drink water without feeling pain. And then after that, the second issue that had the most impact on me was issue 9, which was the introduction to Ultimate Luke Cage. And in this chapter of the Ultimates, we learned that Luke Cage went to jail for life at 15 years old in 2005. Now, his sentence was like 1 year to life. So he could have gotten out in 1 to 2 to 3 years. But no, he was stuck for like damn near 20 years. And his lawyer doesn't even try to help him. He doesn't even know what Luke Cage was convicted of. He tries to comfort him by saying, like, it's actually progressive and he might be out within a year. But, you know, that was a lie. He was stuck for a long time. And in these prisons, all the inmates' rights have been revoked and they have to obey the rules within the prison. They aren't even allowed to read because they get beaten. And when Luke Cage gets transferred to a Gordium Correctional Facility, he protects Danny Rand from getting stabbed and starts preaching to him that being in prison is modern day slavery. And the dialogue of this part is so good. Luke Cage is like, slavery is social death. It is to forever be cut off from your context and community. It is to have never been born. They have made us into non-people explicitly. They say it's about justice. They say it's about the law. It's not about any of that shit. So what's it all about? It's about power, man. That was some great dialogue right there. Like the power man line just, it works so well. Like I thought it was corny, but I was like, you know, it's kind of fire. What Luke says isn't wrong at all. Prison is modern day slavery. It never really went away. The prisons Luke has been to are privately owned by Midas, and so he houses these people within the prison walls for financial gain, whether they did something or not. These things are real. In real life, black people and other minority groups are targeted by law enforcement. They're either killed or imprisoned at high rates. The fact that what is happening in these comics are real is what makes them great. It brings awareness and criticism to things that are happening in America. Political and social commentary has always been relevant within art. It's nothing new. Those grifters who call it woke are willingly being obtuse, racist, and ignorant and try to create hatred towards minority groups in the comics. Deniz Camp does a great job at writing these aspects. It's direct and not subtle, which is a good thing. I hate people who want their shit to be subtle. But social and political commentary is what makes the Ultimates entirely great. It's also the characters themselves. Outside of all those worldly issues, they're personal issues, which leads me to another character that has a lot of impact on me. Doom. Reed Richards in this universe was mostly the same alongside Sue, Johnny, and Ben, but there was one key difference. The Maker messes with Reed's calculations, and this leads to Johnny literally burning to death, Sue's body deteriorating into nothingness, and Ben committing suicide by jumping off a cliff, while Reed, absolutely nothing happens to him, thus he is blamed, and his guilt is even worse than it has ever been. When Reed goes to jail, the Maker takes him and tortures him endlessly. The Maker took Reed to a place where he can control the fourth dimension. He says he can squeeze centuries of pain into just a few thin moments. The Maker tortures Reed into becoming Doom, going as far as to melt and disfigure his face, altering his brain, torturing him with gamma rats, and burning his head with Doom masks. Within this comic, Doom relives these moments of despair. He calls it his negative zone and watches them unfold seemingly obsessively. Doom tries to endlessly recreate the cosmic rays experiment on the rats, but they keep dying. His obsession and guilt brings up an argument between him and Iron Lad, which I could see being more extreme in the future. These two are probably destined for something horrible. The Ultimates issue 4 is by far my favorite issue in the run so far. with number 9 being close. Lastly, there's another character who's very interesting, and that's America Chavez. Her history in this universe is long and extensive. She comes from space. She was a guardian of the galaxy, and there are like hundreds of guardians. It's a lot to explain. I mean, just look at this page from Captain Marvel. I think another one of the best parts of the Ultimates is the world building. Like, damn near everything is interesting in this universe. My only issue is Black Panther, which is, it pains me to say that because his series is just it's so boring. Like, that's the one character I want to have like a great run, like something legendary, something that just cements his character into, like, I don't know, top 5 conversations. But it is what it is, man. But Deniz Camp does an excellent job at establishing the world, what has happened, what is happening now, and teasing what will happen. The teases about the future with Kang, Doom's destiny, the Maker, all those things really make you theorize what might happen, but also fear what might be. I feel like there's going to be a massive twist in the future. I gotta say, in my opinion, I think the new Ultimates universe is one of the best, maybe if not the best thing Marvel has come out with within the past few years. It's fresh, but at the same time familiar, which allows people who want to get into comics to read them easily. I personally have struggled to get into comics for a long time. It wasn't until maybe like 2 or 3 years ago I started to seriously read comics. Reading Marvel in particular was a bit difficult because they have all these events and happening in different comics. But, you know, you get used to it after some time. The new Ultimates, just reading that has made my experience way better when it comes to reading comics. It's got me hyped for what's to come in the future. Now, I love the Ultimates, but my favorite Ultimate series is Spider-Man. It's written by Jonathan Hickman, who I said before was pretty legendary. And also, Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, so seeing this is just like a dream come true. Seeing him have his own family with Mary Jane, it just makes me happy. And Spider-Man comics have been garbage since 2007. And some of his best stories that I've found are outside of the main comic universe, or they're just like from 30, 40 years ago. And it's so interesting seeing him being Spider-Man for the first time at an older age and dealing with his kids and wife knowing. The Ultimate's the second on my favorites list. I think Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimates are on the same level of great. I really keep changing my mind between them. Like, do I think the Ultimates is better? Spider-Man is? Nah, you know how it is. I think I'll just stop comparing. Hickman's slow burn with Spider-Man is great. The most recent issue just got real crazy. And Camp's commentary is great. And he's about to introduce Namor and the Punisher's influence in the next issue. With that being said, I'm done yapping. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I think I'll make a video about Ultimate Spider-Man next. After that, I don't really know yet, but go read the Ultimates. Peace out.